Hey guys, this is Jeff with the Tattooed Spirit. I'm back for part 2 of the unboxing that I'm so happily going to be able to extend for a while longer because I love this deck so much. The Otherworlds deck. Incredible box. We already covered that. And its complete lack of odor. We covered that as well. Something cool little note on this box as well, and it's made to sort of come down a little bit. Whenever you open it, so you can grasp on both sides through the little thing, and so it's really nicely detailed. Very nicely detailed. Really just, even that little bit detail on the box is great. And I did Google Usi yesterday, and it's just a design firm. They really design everything, so it kind of makes sense that they would design a beautiful box, make that patterning just so incredibly beautiful that's on the back of every cards. And I guess it kind of why it makes sense that they kind of put this, let the future enter you into that. It's they really, that it seems out of place, but wonderful. If you wanted to finally design deck, this is it, minus the silly phrase. All right, here we go. So this entire episode, this entire recording is going to be about the Wands suit. I didn't look at any of the cards. I did separate them by not looking at them. I just see if there's a wand. Oh, okay, so I made my little pile here. And I do have the major set in front of me in case it's sort of, in case something sort of sparks to talk about the one wand, then I can kind of see what's happening down there. And I also, just for curiosity, I set out the suit from my riders, the RWS. I have the suit in case there's some interesting comparisons that we can make with the familiar system that a lot of us are familiar with. So here we go. Let us get started with the very first, the ace. I'm assuming this is going to work out. It was actually interesting how they set up the deck in the box. It was like the one suit was from, the ace to the king, and then the next one was from the king all the way down to the ace, and then the next suit was the ace all the way up to the king. So I thought that was interesting, not for anything other than to make a commentary about it. Which is my other note. I will no longer be rambling. I will be giving commentary, just to sort of elevate, to reframe my so muchness of it. I'm not going to be rambling. I'm going to be giving commentary. So be prepared for a lot of enlightening, or maybe just never-ending commentary. Here we go. As I made the example very clear just now, a lot of commentary. Okay, here is the Ace of Wands. Now, I almost want to see it first before showing it to you guys. I don't mean to be selfish. Okay, it's still the same as the riders. It's coming in from the left into the right. And I wonder if you would count the leaves. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'm not going to count the leaves. I'm afraid that might. Well, you know what? Let's make an actual comparison. And for the size-wise, this is kind of what we're looking like, guys. This is what we're looking like. It's just, it feels better in the hands. It's not much larger than the straight riders, the regular classic deck. But for whatever reason, man, I just can't wait to get my hands on this in shape. So just give me a couple seconds and let me just count how many leaves are on each one of these. Okay, so on the traditional riders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, maybe not quite. And I did read that kind of quick. And it looks really, it actually has the same castle. It's got the same little castle, same little land. This is sort of like, getting out. I just love the wand suit. It's sort of the, if you're doing everything right in your life, you're being inspired to this action. You're just not doing it for action's sake, because then you just go in circles and you get absolutely nothing done after a very long day. So whenever you get these actions aligned with like this positive expectation, this wonderful emotion, I just think I love an Ace of Wands whenever it's inspired, not just for the sake of it just being time to try something new. All right, so it's kind of like the misty sort of cloud. It becomes more misty. It's the same view of the hand. The thumb is actually across, more of a grasp on it. I'm also getting all my notifications up there, so if you see me doing this, I'm getting used to all this Instagram stuff, guys. It's incredibly not coming to me easily. I have no idea how to do it. But okay, these wonderful aces. Okay, so here we are. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. I mean, how can you really change it very much? How can you really change this ace? The landscape is very much the same. I love how they still kept the water in there. I love how they kept the water just a little bit. It's almost, I don't want to say it's inferred because it's clearly there, but it is, I love that they kept the water there. The idea that your action should always be sort of over hovering, some sort of like more guidance of just, again, like I said before, just not doing action for action's sake. Really just, always having that unconscious, always having that undercurrent of wisdom beyond and behind and under what you're doing in your world. This wonderful suit, the action, movement, adventure, struggle. Wonderful. All right, I dig that. I dig that. Cool. That is the ace. Let's bring up the 2. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's pretty straight up structure here. Let's do the comparison on each one. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? You guys know the size difference. How did I do that before? That was really nice. How about just that? We kind of can put that in the back. We've all sort of seen that a billion times. Here we go. Choices. Balance. Choices, balance, unions. This obviously is kind of waiting. Are there ships in this as well? No, it's just over dry land. Here we got this cat making a decision, kind of seeing what kind of ship is going to come in next. He's sitting on his castle, standing in his castle. Here we're quite removed from that castle. Quite removed. Maybe that's another cat on another castle. I like that layer of depth. While you're looking at the other ones making decisions, maybe this card is the actual indication to just now's the time to actual choice, while this cat here could be on this castle. I don't know, sort of spitballing, just making my commentary. All right, I like it. I like it. Very symmetrical on these wands. Very, very symmetrical. Very symmetrical. Here we have one very much more dominant, the one he's holding on to. He's actively making that choice, or he's receiving the choice. He's actively with the globe. So, okay, that's what he's really doing with that right side. So 2, beautiful. You automatically know you're getting, now after the ace, you have to then be able to give birth to something new, to be able to say this is this and this is this. All right, that's a nice 2. I could get into that. All right, 3. We know what's coming next, obviously. All right, 3 of wands. Let's compare. All right, here we go. After you make the choice, what do? You wait to kind of get the feedback. Here we got the same symbology. Here we have these little boats. That guy's just kind of waiting to see what's coming. All right, you've made the choice. You sort of put out that vibe. All right, you're thinking a certain way. You're feeling a certain way. You're doing your things based on inspiration. Then you kind of see what the world has to come back for you. So you can make yet another choice. You can find your own balance. I like it. The clouds are absent in the originals, though. So we can sort of get into some fun things with that. The idea that this may not be a clear awaiting. It may not be a clear path to know. And I like the mystery of that. All right, it's actually not kind of, I'm getting more into, in my phase of life, maybe I'm getting more into the uncovering, the unveiling of my life. I always used to want to know what all my, what's going to come, what's next, and I wanted all the answers, and now I'm kind of really appreciating, and actually this YouTube has been kind of really big for me because I'm enjoying the process of kind of where I'm taking my practice, where I'm kind of getting into the whole speaking more, and I just don't know what it's looking like, 2 months ahead in advance or even a month ahead in advance. But I like whenever the phone call kind of comes in, it's like that cloud gets a little bit more clear, it gets a little bit more dispersed, that thing that's coming becomes more and more accessible, so you can get even more excited about it beyond just sort of throwing it out there and planning for it. That's a nice 3. That's a nice 3. It's the same patterning too. Same patterning with the 2 on the one side. That's the 2 on the right side. Okay. All right. So that kind of, you can just sort of imagine this without, the guy there. That's really what's going on. All right. And there's addition of the clouds, which I like the imagery of that. I think that's a success with putting the clouds in there. It's not always clear what's coming. It's the card of patience, I believe. When you ever see this, you're just like, you just got to hold off a little bit, man. Just got to hold off and be patient a little bit. And this is whenever you have that idea. That was the one. Yes, that has been the one you've been waiting for. I always love a 3 when it comes in reversed. All right, what do we have here in the 4, obviously? Oh, okay, well, that's clear. That's clear. How about that? How about that? It's the same castle. Are those characters really small in there? No, there's no characters in here. Absolutely no characters so far. Structure, foundation. I put those 2 dots up there. I don't know if you guys saw my course. Whenever it comes in reversed, for me, my understanding, my learning, my mentors have just said, yes, it is that glorious and glamorous and blissful, but it's just maybe you don't recognize it. Maybe it's a little bit more every day. Maybe other people sort of see that in you, and you should start seeing it in yourself. It's a little bit... Okay, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm so familiar with that. I may just not. I may leave these cards completely untouched. But I'm always okay to see this 4 come in reverse. That just means it's still there, but it's just not glaring. It's not glaringly as foundational and structural as this beautiful original Rider deck. But the images are there. And just this real accessible oil tone. Right, there's the path. Okay, well, there's a path. Interesting here, though. This is sort of on a platform. The original Riders are on that platform. I love these platform cards where the structure of the actions and doings of your life is sort of removed from the actual scene of it. Here we just are... I wonder if there's more platforms in there. I guess we'll find out if there's more platforms in this Otherworlds deck. This, to me, makes it more accessible. This is really in the land, in your mind, in your life. You know, we have this phrase in neurolinguistic programming. It's called, your map of the world. And it's true. Whatever map of the world you create in your mind, that is the world that you actually live, which is why so many people disagree on things and try to argue what's right for them should be right for you. Because this is sort of like the map of the world card, you know, because those wands are stuck right there where you're living, not removed on this platform. Oh my gosh, dare I say, I might be pulling away from my RWS straight up to just be getting into more new worlds with this Otherworlds deck. Let's just look at it. Just look at the beauty of that. A lot of empty space on that card. We talked about the empty spaces in the majors before. All right. Well, here we go. Here, this is inferring a lot of activity now, isn't it? Now, interesting with these... Right, how do I always sort of do it wrong. There we go. Okay, you got the crossed wands, very much, okay, like the same. Got a camp there, which means it's about community, it's about other people, it's about, and I view this card, even though it's a 5, generally it's a life difficulty. Guys, for me, when I see this, that's the nature of the fires, to get in the mix of it, man, to sort of get in the mingle of it. Cooperation aspect, using other people in a positive way to sort of you prop each other up, and if I'm buying something, I need someone to sell it, and if I'm trying to sell something, I need a buyer, and that's this right here. I like that, and I like that that tent is red, and I don't even know why. Interesting, it looks like there's a little pair of shoes or something down there. Maybe that's a rock. I gotta sit with that a little while. Here, this cooperation turns to competition like that, right? We're all familiar with that. Woo! That's when stuff starts to turn a little bit ugly. Got to start looking at priorities when that comes up. But okay, this is going to be an easy transfer for me. You know what? On Simon's talk in his Cup of Ketchup and Cards, we had talked about using new decks that are out of my box familiarity range. I can't remember the name of that one in particular. But it's like a translation time for me, where I see the new card in the new deck, and then I sort of have to remember what it is in this deck, the Rider, and then I sort of go back to the deck I'm using, this new one, and then I sort of add that layer to get into it. I think this is going to be a shorter little transfer time. It's going to be just like, oh, and the Riders, yes, absolutely, yeah, that's the whole, the competition, the mingling up, the sort of fire action and all that. So this is going to be a really fast deck for me to really get into. I had 3 tarot clients today. And I so badly wanted to rip this deck out, but I haven't even gotten through the wands, and here we are, halfway through the wands almost. So I think it depends on how many videos we'll do, but soon enough I think this is going to be my first deck right here, first deck. I was at the American Native Spirits Lodge down there in Woodland Hills, where they sell a bunch of gems and crystals and a bunch of beads and stuff, really cool. And I was talking to one guy that works there. He found that I was into tarot. We started talking, and hopefully he'll be joining our community. Really cool guy, and it's just really cool when you get to understand that other people sort of kind of understand the same basic language that you're talking. And so again, just a big, appreciation to everyone out there, because even though we have our different takes and specifics on the cards, I mean, the basic structure, we all get together and that's what we commune about. That's what we give commentary about. All right, sixes. Oh, here to go right here. Okay, well, look at this. Look at this. Got the wreath still up there, but what else is going on there? What else is going on there? I can't really see what that is. I thought they were doves. They kind of look like doves. It's just like a white sash. I think as soon as you see that victory wreath, you kind of know what's going on, that communication. I love the sixes communication. You know what I mean? It doesn't give the aspect of sort of unequal relationships with this six. Unlike this, it sort of infers like a leader, someone who's like the teacher, the bringer, the one that accepts and shares. You kind of miss that a little bit in here, but again, this is so similar to this, it's just going to be right in there. And I don't get that this is a platform with the horse. A lot of people would say if your character's on a horse, it acts like a platform. You're a little bit removed from the scene. I never really got that. And now with this card, I really don't get that. I really don't get that. And so far, if I'm not mistaken, all of the wands you can see their base. And that's true, that you can see their base. None of them are going underneath the frame of the border. And I suppose that doesn't have much meaning to me now, but I guess if we do come across one where that's going to, really come into something, into some new information. Cool. Easy. That's going to be easy translation. You see that? Well, that's a six, Easy to imagine the guy coming in, what are you going to offer back? What's the victorious sort of sharing here? What are the learnings? What are the lessons? I dig a six. I dig this Six of Wands so much. It's almost like that band, that scarf or sash, almost replaced that horse, because that's really the only thing that's missing, other than the inference of the people and obviously the main character. I guess that's what sort of carries the message. Maybe that's a scroll. Maybe that's that particular character who's bringing this message. Maybe it's sort of written on that scroll. Maybe why they removed the characters and obviously these, and then just sort of added that to just say, oh, this is what is to be shared. This is what is to be given. Beautiful imagery. And off the hook. Off the hook. All right, guys. Well, we know Simon. Oh, this is a symmetrical card here. Look at it. One big wand in the middle. Here we go. This is a departure now, isn't it? This is quite a departure. This is a bit like a gate card now, because none of these wands are actually a part of this scene. It looks like it's planted in there. The other ones, you can see that they're planted in. They're planted in the ground. With this too, you can see that that's where the wands are coming from. This particular here is totally removed. Now, this is sort of like the new platform, where it's like a gate card, where these wands aren't attached to the ground at all. Very much a departure, but you can still get the whole like mixing it up. And look what they did here. Look what they did here. This is pretty cool. Instead of having a character, because you're not having characters in these, there's one wand that's special, and that represents you amongst all these other wands coming up. That's just, you know what I mean? Just to sort of, keep your head in the game, keep your head above it, keep fighting, keep moving. It's a 7, victory, success, but it means it's just the activity of it's the activity of winning, the activity of adventure, movement, keeping optimistic. Got to keep optimistic, or else you're just messing yourself up. Let's see what's special about beyond just being the bigger wand. It's like a blossoming. It's like it's blooming. It really is the special one. It is you in the character. It is the you or whoever you're reading for. This one right there. And interesting that it's the only one straight up. Do you love that? Do you love that? Rather than having a character, the only one that's straight up amongst the mix of it is you. So you have to, again, it sort of is, it's, to me, that's sort of reminiscent of like the sword suit. It's kind of, you got to, you got to just know where your priorities are. You got to kind of keep in mind all that stuff we talked about, the Justice card and the majors. And it's also, I believe, I'm not mistaken, it's also the thickest, it's also the strongest wand in the card. And what's in the background of this wonderful card? Again, these rocks. I mean, I love rocks anyway. I literally put a rock garden See, there's no water in here. There's a little bit of water there. There's a little bit of water, which infers all this wonderful unconscious sort of things to keep in mind about why you're going about, keeping up your actions. I'm going to have to sit with this. I got to sit with these rocks. It's such a new imagery for me. Such a new imagery. I think of the Fool of the original riders, the Fool on that big rock cliff, obviously. It's interesting that just that one wand is. I wish I had something clever to say about that. I just wish I had some sort of insight on that. I just don't. Oh, I just found out something new on this card. The character in this card, that wand is behind all of them. From, removed from the distance from the screen to this thing, it kind of looks like it's a weave basket form, but this actually, it's behind all those other ones. It's sort of remembering to tell you, it's telling you to remember that you stand alone, and even in all of this madness of doing your life and all these things happening, that all these things that can kind of show up to kind of keep you off your path, to kind of keep you straight from where you're intending to go, that it's just a facade. It's not really who you are. You're not really entangled in all of these activities where you find yourself. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad the designers decided to put that particular wand more stable, more strong, more beautiful. It's something special about it. And then it's completely removed. It's completely removed. It's like it's not, these other wands really aren't affecting it. Okay. All right. Well, then that's enough of that. That's enough commentary on that. All right. 8. Okay, we have a departure. Here we have a departure. This is going to change how I read completely. This is an interesting philosophical tarot question now. If you always believe that these are sort of the activities of your life, the momentums of your life coming to an end, or getting ready for a new change, or just time for just an ending of a particular, oh man, Instagram is going crazy. I don't know how that, I wish I knew what was going on with that. It's my notifications on my phone, guys. I'm a little crazy, but I'm not going that crazy. So it looks like basically that these meanings are going to be a bit reversed for me. And I'm just going to go with what the imagery says. I'm going to go with what the imagery says. I mean, if I happen to use my old trusted true, I'm going to say coming to an end. And here I'm just going to say, you know what, you're just kind of getting taken off. These are just kind of taken off. Really cut. And you know what, I don't know if you guys use the, probably not, I don't know, I'm really excited to see a lot of you guys doing a lot more actually your own reading, because I love seeing how other people reading. But this particular 8 with the wands and stuff, it's really cool that in the reading, even if you've finished this spread or finish whatever you're particularly doing, and then you kind of want to see what the next thing is, if you do interpret this card like I do, if this is like the ending of something, to just pull a different card in the same diagonal as this, to just kind of see what the next thing that's blooming after this ending, or if it turns in like this, sort of draw the next card to just say what's going to be added to the continuation of what you're already doing. I hope you guys do that too. I hope you guys do that too. It's just like, oh, tearville from your clients, and anytime you get tears from your clients, it's good in a good way. All right, so here we go. Water's in the bottom of there. Water's, I just love the presence of water. Oof, yeah, that could be a little bit of water. A little bit of trees, not much difference. A little bit of, I guess that's water, right? Yeah, I guess that's water. Get really lost in the imagery of there. All right, so that's the 8. That's the 8. That is the 8. Go to the 9. Delicious. Delicious. Oh, see, look, they did the same thing. It is the exact same wand. It's the same wand as the 7, so you know that that's replacing the character. That's replacing the character, standing the thickest, the strongest, the tallest. And that's also planted in the ground, like this character's planted in the ground. This character's also on a platform, but this is not doing platforms. Is it in the front? It's in the front, just like the character is, just like this character is. And I love in this particular card, I love talking about how that character is sort of looking to the right. So if you look as if you're reading from the left to the right, I'm sorry, he's looking back. He's sort of stopped. He's not looking forward, is my point. If you read from this side to this side, it's sort of the inability to move forward because he is that, and it's so overused, but it is so appropriate, that battle-worn, not the person ready for romance, you know what I mean? Not the person ready for a new experience. Let's just get some healing for this particular character. It kind of, rather than looking back, this is sort of tilted forward. Again, it changes the essential meaning for me, like you are ready to move forward. It really changes the meaning, which then, whenever it comes reversed, it becomes more like this for me. It will in the future, for me at least. How about that? Really straightforward. Are there clouds in there? It doesn't really look like clouds, no. And there's no water in here. And it would make sense that there's no water in here, because this is just like... it's a 9. It's that abundance, all these 9s are these abundance of the quality of that suit. So whenever we're talking about fire, we're talking about action, movement, momentum, adventure. The abundance of that would mean, of course, that you're not going to have a lot of water, not a lot of inspiration, not a lot of emotion, because you're just working with that hot-ass fire. Great card. I like that. They did really well replacing the characters with the imagery of the particular, the nature of the suit. Really great. Really great. All right. Now, you know what 10 is next, right? Let me take a look first. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to tell you how good it is. Oh, trust me, it's good. Trust me, it's good. These really aren't planted in the ground. But they're really sort of in the center. I haven't gone back to my majors to compare at all. Boy, this video would be 90 minutes long if I did. That video would be 90 minutes long. But what I can say, I'm going to take a little detour. I'm going to add some commentary. Look at the Empress's sort of wand that she's carrying with those two that represent you. I'll let you guys go places with that. But that's something that I noticed. It's the same damn wand, guys. It's the same damn wand. Minus the little leaves. These little pippies here, they got the leaves on the end. This is just no leaves. It just is. Well, there's definitely meaning in there. I can't find the words for it. You guys probably have the same problem too when I'm reading. You're like, I know what I want to say. I just can't find the damn words. But there's a reason why there's absolutely a reason why that is the same looking wand as that Empress. Well, what else are we looking at here in the majors? I can get lost there. But anyway, here we go, 10. Yeah. Talk about excess. The 10s being the excess of the quality of the suit. This is just barely hanging on like this character, In my readings, I do welcome when the things come in reverse. And, when this 10 comes in reverse, and they're just, usually about a not a bad situation. And I said, look, there's got to be a better way to carry 10 of these things, Let's tie a rope around each side and put it over our shoulder like a yoga mat. Again, it's a platform, You're not really engaged with life. You're removed from it because you're so busy with all the excess, 10s excess. And then this kind of resembles you, like you are that which is doing, so you become just one of those cogs in the wheel with the no characters. But there is one or two special. No, there's 2 special in here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're into something here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. It looks like there's only 9 bases here. I don't know if that's on purpose. I wonder if there's 10. I'm sure they've got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's obviously 10 tops of the wands here. It really only looks like there's 9 there. That has its own message in it of itself, I believe, You're top heavy, you're unbalanced, you're just barely balanced, literally. This is a very symmetrical card. It's beautiful. And although you don't have a character carrying it, it's just barely balanced. Maybe that's why they have less, it seems. Forgive me, UC, the creators of this, if you actually meant to have 10, or I can't see them. But it's the precarious position of this. Huh? The precarious position of that. All right, let's get through the courts now. Here we have a page. Here we have a page. Left hand higher. What are you bringing in? That sense of eagerness into your life. You know, I think I'm going to do a whole series on the courts because I just love the idea that these, how I interpret them. It's the aspects, qualities, personality types, you know, of the qualities that you have. You know, I think a lot of people sort of talk that they're different people, and yeah, okay, that's fine if, you know, if you can make that work for you. But, you know, believing that you are the center of your own experience, then I like the idea that all the court cards, whether they come in like that or like that, is just a different aspect of a quality of yourself that is getting you in these projected futures. It's cool. It's a cool card. Same sort of, we can get into the same sort of dressing as the other. This sort of looks like the magician's dress. No, it's totally not the magician's. Totally not the magician's attire. It's a different kind of leaf. Padded. Got a little horn. I don't think the other guy has a horn. Does not have a horn. That's a cool page. That's a cool page. I'm seeing the time that we're at 30 minutes. I'm thinking, oh hell, anything over 30 minutes is a bit of a thing to get through for people. So I apologize. The Knight of Wands. All right, well, you know, it's a different perspective completely because the knight is turned the other way, but look what he's got in the right hand in both. Yes, I was right. Thank heaven on that. Is that, you know, this is this full sense of adventure. You know, what are you doing? You're actively just doing it, man. The right hand, full forward. I love it. Although that's not really like a horse. That's some sort of like a reindeer, perhaps, or some sort of, I don't know my animals that well. It's like an elky thing. But it is beautiful. It's a character on an animal holding a wand, so you know it's the knight. You know it's the knight. Let's get to the queen. Oh, here we go. Hello, Queen of Wands. Let's bring back that Empress. Here's the queen. And there's the Empress. Look at that queen. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this love of life of this character. Just did this on my last client. This is definitely where she felt that she was losing, sort of getting out of her experience, and then we kind of did the work, kind of see what was going on. We worked the emotional scale. We brought down new cards to the left of the, you know, what the spread was, and what was right next to, and what fit in perfectly was this particular queen. It fit in beautifully with what we were creating. You created this unbelievable, beautiful loop. She cried. That's such a good thing. It was such a good thing. It was a great session. All right, so we got this love of life character with that wonderful, wonderful wand. A lot of empty space, like a lot of stuff going on in there. And look, they kept the imagery of the sunflower, you know, the sunflower, like the sun's sunflower. Do I have? No, I don't. With the riders, are sunflowers all over the place. Again, oh, the master of the suit of this movement, action, doing, living. She's the master of it, man. There's a book out there about the queens of the court, and I really can't wait to get it because I always talk about the queens more than anybody whenever they happen to pop up. Look at that, the love of life, the Queen of Wands. It's always a pleasure to see you, Missy. All right, last card. We're getting into the king. Here we go. Who's a character? Oh, it almost looks ominous. Oh, and he's got a line. Talk about confidence right there. That's what you want to think of whenever you think of the King of Wands. That's what you want to think about when you think about the King of Wands. He's got the wand in the right hand. Yeah, bet he's a ruler, man. Barefoot, though. I don't know why they did that. Barefoot, left foot up higher by the lion, the right foot moving forward. Like that's the act of making the decisions. That's why he's the king. He's doing these being and that he's sort of got, you know, he's getting his inspiration from the strength of the lion from his left, and he's putting his right foot forward to go out and be this confident self. Whenever this card comes up, you just got to dig in for the confidence. Again, I never see a person in this card saying someone's going to come in and help you. You know, I know that could work. I've had readings where that's been very accurate whenever they told me that, but it just feels so out of my sense of empowerment that I like to just sort of reframe the whole thing to then allow for this to be more true, this aspect of the character that I'm reading for, that aspect of them that sort of is just like stepping up or maybe getting a little too out of control, huh? Come on, arrogance. Who needs that? All right, guys, I'm at 34 minutes. This is about 10 minutes longer than I wanted. If you hung with me the whole time, I appreciate it. I'm coming back as soon as I can, maybe tomorrow, with another suit. We'll go the cups next, right? Because if you change the wands, everything changes, and that's going to change the emotion. So we're going to be talking to you later. I hope you enjoyed my excessive commentary, and I'll catch up with you guys on the comments below. Bye.